Hi, and welcome back to DPAF Career Coaching. I want to talk today about something that's often overlooked in business, and that's the importance of soft skills. They say in your career that 85% of your career success is the ability to get along with other people, and only 15% is the real sort of hard skills or the core disciplines that people study for and strive for and are known for. So let me go through a handful of soft skills that I think are important, and hopefully you'll find this video very useful. During this lockdown process, a lot of people are given an opportunity for self-reflection. And, I think all of us in our life, we get into these sort of habits and routines, and, they are the most convenient at the time, but we may, upon reflection, notice that there's some things that we're doing in our behaviors that are holding us back. And if we could cut those out or make some small changes, it'll really help us succeed much more in our career and really drive our career forward. So let me go through what these 5 points are. And the first one I want to start with is physical appearance. Having a fit, healthy complexion and look helps you so much. And being dressed properly helps you so much. Making sure your clothing or your quote unquote uniform is always clean and pressed and looking the best it can possibly look really helps you. I think it's important for work to have clothing that is functionally appropriate. You want to have clothing that fits the type of work that you do and is comfortable and is appropriate. Beware of dress codes and beware of dressing appropriately for the occasion. If you're working in a manufacturing type environment, but yet you're going to a cocktail party in the evening, you're not showing up with your boots and your belt and your hard hat. In the evening, you're going to be dressing for a different type of environment. Or if you're in the field doing field sales and marketing, but then you're going into the office for a meeting. There may be a casual approach to whatever company you have, but then again, if you're meeting to talk about important matters, you need to change your clothing for that. And I'm not going to give too many specifics in this video, but I just want you to be aware of having not so much a broad range of clothing, but a small range of really appropriate, functionally suitable and very smart and clean clothing that is really going to help you a lot in your career, much more than you think it will. Second point I want to talk about is professional behavior at all times, when you're with clients, when you are with colleagues, when you're with management, when you're with subordinates, when you're with prospective new clients. And it's very important to be able to give an impression that you are credible and authoritative and that you're not going to be pushed around, but at the same time it really is going to help you so much if you're always on top of please and thank you and following up with people. Often in business you're sort of invited to make a proposal or invited to do work that someone else has gone to the trouble of organizing, or someone else is giving up their time to help you or to benefit you, and may benefit them, but it also benefits you. And to acknowledge that is very important. So thanking people, taking a moment at the beginning and end to say, look, this is an opportunity that I'm grateful for, and I want to take forward, and I'm going to do my very best to deliver great value. I think helps you a lot, helps you stand out. You'd be amazed how many people have manners that are less than the highest standard. And if you can make sure your manners are at a high level at all times, it's going to help you. Second point is punctuality is so important in business. There's so much time pressure all the time, and if you are not someone that is on time, it's going to be noticed right away, and it's going to reflect badly on you. Same, I'm sure, if you're in a manager that people are not punctual, you notice that straight away. You're letting the whole team down. if you're not punctual, and that feeds into sort of general reliability. You've got to be true to your word. If you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. You can say you're going to be there at a certain time, you're going to be there. And these are the big differentiators between the men and the boys. The people that succeed do these basics correctly 10 out of 10 times. The people that don't succeed do the basics correctly 6 out of 10 times or 7 out of 10 times, but not enough to give everyone else confidence that they can be counted on all the time or when it really counts. And it's the consistency of being reliable and being punctual that helps a lot. I think your relationship with your supervisor is very, very important. The keys to these are to get off on the right foot by setting expectations at the very beginning. If you've got, you really want to set the relationship at the outset and make sure that everything you want to get out of it is agreed. They should do the same with you, and you don't want to let these sort of problems develop initially and then just prolong and get worse, and it leads to mistrust and dissatisfaction and problems. And you want to get problems eradicated, and you want to be focused on solutions and productivity and success. And that's how you're going to get ahead. That's how your organization is going to get ahead. And, having a good relationship with your supervisor, I think is very, very important. You need to respect them. They need to respect you. It's a two-way street. It's not just a one-way street. Also, relationship with your other colleagues are very important. There's always going to be times where you need them to help you out, and when there's times when you need to help them out, you need to step up and do it. Again, you don't want to be taken advantage of. You don't want to be taking advantage of other people, and it's about a sense of fairness and, again, mutual respect within the organization and harmony. You don't want endless conflict. You can have conflict sometimes if there's problems, if people are dropping the ball, but you want to get that resolved, and you want to be trying to encourage other people. The clients I typically deal with are, on the leadership trajectory, and, people encourage them to be moving up, but they need to be encouraging other people, and that's what you need to be doing as well. There's no one in the workplace that doesn't have a duty and opportunities to encourage others, and I hope you can take that on board. Next point I want to make is communication and the appropriateness of certain types of communication. When is it appropriate to communicate in certain type of ways? There's a lot of communication that's to do in business with timings. When something's going to arrive, when you're going to arrive, when it's going to depart. And, these can easily be done by text message and email. And I think it's very important that there's a record of all these things, so everything is crystal clear. When you're waiting for a proposal from someone, you've got to get it by email, so it's coming to you quick, and there's a record, when it was sent, who it was sent by, what all the terms are. It's a record that everyone can refer back to. When you say things verbally, there's no record, and that creates opportunities for communication to break down. People say, I told you that, when they didn't tell you it, or it was misinterpreted. So you want to have as much business or timing, transactional communication as possible. I think by email, quick timings, text messages, no problem. But then when it comes to sort of grand vision and long conversations, you've got to be doing those face-to-face or by phone or by video. And I think it's very, very important to get those right. And a lot of people get them wrong. And, I can talk about this at greater length another time, but the consciousness of what type of communication is appropriate. If you find you're sending out a text message that's taken you 35 minutes to write, you can bet that text message is not the right thing. Text message is sort of a 30-second to 25-second quick message. Email is all the important stuff, the transactional stuff, and then face-to-face or by phone is the grand strategy, the vision, the trust elements. And it's important to be aware of that and to get it right. Next thing I want to talk about is I suppose sort of office politics and kind of what not to do, really. never get too political in the workplace is what I would say. I would say that there's a lot of political conflict in the culture at the moment, and this often seeps into workplaces. And if you can kind of avoid all that and just focus wholly on the work itself, it's going to stand you in better stead. You don't need to be, making lots of political proclamations, and you don't need to be, making lots of big speeches. Save that for your private time. Using bad language or inappropriate language is just not really appropriate. Talking about intimate personal issues, again, not really appropriate in the workplace. And, getting involved in other people's personal business, I just discourage. You don't need people knowing about your business. You don't need to know about other people's business. You're there to focus on the work. You're there to excel and to move up. And, by all means, make friendships with people. But you don't need to get bogged down with their problems. It's only going to hold you back. So don't get into, these sort of spider webs of talking about so-and-so's emotional problem and taking sides in their, out of work issues. Just avoid it all. Just keep communication that's not work related to a relative minimum, and just focus on the task at hand, and that's going to help you get ahead. It's going to help you be much more productive, and it's going to help you move forward. The final thing I want to talk about is problem solving, and if you're able to solve problems in work, in business, it's gonna help you move ahead. And the way to do that is to sort of take the initiative, take the responsibility for thinking through, okay, how can we solve this problem? Being proactive about solving problems before they occur is something I always think about. And don't get too bogged down with taking credit for everything. But if you can just work in an efficient way where you're you having an anticipation of what problems are occurring, you're taking responsibility for them, you have a thorough preparedness, and you're thinking through the process all the time with the supervisor, with the senior management, and with your subordinates, and you're communicating everything clearly, problems are less likely to occur, and when they do, you've got contingencies in place so that they're not detrimental to the organization or to the project that you're doing. So given some not hypothetical, but theoretical solutions here to soft skills, and I think they're very, very broad, but they can help you, and they can help a lot of other people in move up in their career and succeed. And that's what I want you to do. So please subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content, and share it with your friends, and we'll look forward to talking with you more about this again soon. So thanks very much.